Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the EarLegAthlete, and today we've got one of the Sherpas from the Escape From Tarkov Sherpa Hub. If you want, go ahead and give yourself a brief introduction and tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, my name's Hezi. I go by HardcoreHezi. That's my handle. You can find me on Twitch as well as on YouTube. I spend most of my time in the official Discord as well as the Sherpa Discord.
Okay, awesome. So how long have you been playing Escape From Tarkov?
Okay, so I bought the game in 2017. I played a few raids and then I quit. About a year later, I came back in 2018, and I've been playing pretty hardcore since then. I have 10,000 hours. I have every possible achievement except for the P4, which I'm currently working. Um, but yeah, long time.
So what did you do before you got into Tarkov?
Most of my experience was in competitive shooters. I played competitive Call of Duty for many, many years before getting on PC and jumping into PUBG, which I also played competitive.
Nice. Is there anything that really blends between the competitive Call of Duty scene and even when it comes to like arena? Like, is there like things that you could pull from your knowledge of your competitive time with Call of Duty and PUBG and bring that into Tarkov to help you get ahead of the curve, or was it completely different and felt like you had to relearn the process?
Well, I think PUBG really helped because of, for one, the leaning mechanics that was a thing in Call of Duty. But going straight from PUBG
True.
to EFT, it was similar gunplay to me. And then when you combine or put arena in display, the competitive S&D experience rolls into Blast Gang pretty well. I mean, it's pretty much the same game mode. So, I mean, yeah, it definitely shows.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Call of Duty is a far more like hard left arcade leaning shooter, where Tarkov's a more realistic sim type shooter. But I'd say like holding angles, knowing when to shoot, looking at the
Uh,
just the understanding of the game mode and how it all comes together just is a little bit easier for someone with that background, I would
yeah,
imagine.
well, the game modes that they have in Arena really are Call of Duty-ish, right? Like you have Blast Gang, which is very similar, Search and Destroy, and then Checkpoint, which is just like a domination type game mode.
Yeah, domination. Yep. Yeah, and even like Last Hero, which I think every shooter does a free for all
Yep.
style. Um, Teamfight being really the only unique one, but I don't even know if I would consider that too unique. It's just like
Yeah, bots coming in at the end and
a
the
competitive
yeah,
deathmatch. It is unique
yeah.
though. Yeah, that is true. I never really get to the end of matches like that. It's rare that they
Well,
happen.
in the
Um,
early days of Arena when it was really sweaty, that became a thing, something that kind of got displayed a lot. I mean, there was a lot of rounds that were did by people trying to out heal.
yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I don't really get into the competitive arena side. I like to just like play Checkpoint and Last Hero. What is it that got you really into the competitive arena game modes? Is it just
It
your
was the
background,
background.
or do you
Yeah,
just
I
yeah
enjoyed grinding the leaderboard. So like they had a leaderboard. When Blast Gang first came out, I grinded into the top 100. So that was really cool, kind of seeing the number go up. So and then seeing it kind of grow here over recent, I guess, year, the competitive scene is kind of growing. There's some really insane teams out there. Like Sicario's picked up, Cruisin' and Barbarian, Barb, he goes by. Sleazy, some really,
yeah
really insane players on that team.
yeah yeah? If you guys haven't heard of these guys, look into them. They are phenomenal
Yep.
players. The arena competitive scene is starting to get relatively decently well known now. Um, You don't see a lot of it still, which is kind of unfortunate because I think it is a pretty good competitive competitive game mode for esports in general. I think that Arena being the baby brother to Tarkov with the same gun mechanics, the realisticness to it that they add to it and keep in it kind of helps center everything. Where COD, you have all these extra movement mechanics and things that kind of throw everything off. With Arena, it's much more grounded, and I think that that's what. And maybe this sounds a little egotistical. Maybe not. That's not the right word, but I think that's what esports kind of need right now is like a more grounded shooter to just like focus on like skill over movement tech and this, that, and the other. Or do you think I'm off basis there because I'm just out of the competitive scene?
Um, well, I I kind of agree. I think that the game would really thrive if they made it free to play. For one, I think it would bring more people into the game, but the player base is
For
just
sure.
so small in comparison to the other competitive shooters out there, which is why I think it kind of suffers a little bit. I do think
Yeah,
if they made
yeah.
it free to play and they made their money from it by adding skins and adding camo that people could buy, I think it would be a much better business model, and I think it would help the game grow.
I think so too. I think that's as much as I genuinely and typically hate the free to play idea, at least the motto of let's rake people for money, rake, rake people for money. Um, I do think Tarkov would benefit greatly from going free to play with a battle pass that is
Yep.
paid, but in a general sense of like 10, $15, you get the battle pass, you grind it out. There's no buying tiers outside of like using in-game currency that you only get in game. As long as they don't take that, overly aggressive monetary value or standpoint, then I think that would be okay. I think that's exactly what they should do too. I think it would be huge for arena and base game.
Well, that was the main reason I kind of stopped playing Arena, like, pretty like, I was grinding it, like, I really enjoyed it, but you were always running into the same people over and over again. I mean, on the NA scene, it was very small. I mean, you're talking about a pool of, like, 40 to 50 people that you were constantly running into whenever you got
Yeah.
into the ranked game mode, so
I don't think I've ever actually played a ranked match yet.
No.
What yeah, I genuinely I don't think I have. What is the major difference between just playing casually and playing in the competitive arena scene?
Well, I can solely speak on Blast Game because I haven't really played ranked in team fight or checkpoint, but the rounds change, right? So, and there's more overtime, and then you also have something called ARP, which is the rank points that you get from winning, and the ones you lose, the rating that you lose when you do lose a match. So, the only real difference, and then there's a leaderboard attached to it.
What about like gameplay wise? Do people play completely differently or is it still kind of the same, just like hold angles and try to just get optimal shot placement and just try to play advantage over, pushing and getting kills and just
I'd
wiping
say
your
it's a little
team?
sweatier. When you run into those stacks, that's the big thing. Is more commonly run into stack teams. They play a
Makes
little
sense.
bit
Yeah.
more with like better communication. You can definitely tell, especially when you run into those big teams. It's another thing I wish they would change. I think I would think it would be better if you couldn't queue with other people in ranked.
Just solo queues
Yeah,
only.
I believe that makes things
I,
better.
It definitely adds to the competitive side of it, like, when you're grinding leaderboards and stuff, I think it does for sure, because then it's less about, we have the optimal team and we can just run lobbies and take leaderboards. It's like, how well can I do? And, no matter what team I get stuck with, like, can we still perform and can I still help
Yep,
win?
and it should be performance
I
based
think
on your rank points.
individual Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think individual performance should matter more when you're climbing
Yep.
ladders. I may not be a competitive player in Arena, but I do play used to play like competitive Overwatch and a few other games, but nothing serious and nothing like ultra competitive or like top leaderboards or anything like that. But I do have a few opinions, and that being
I
one of
think
them. I think individual performance should
it's a
matter.
really good opinion. Like, it just really sucks when you drop in 20 plus kills in a blast game match and then you lose in double overtime or something. It just and then you lose
Right,
the full ARP.
your ARP's hurt
Yep.
because your team struggled and you did everything just exactly how you should, if not better. Yeah, that's maybe 2 separate ladders, I don't know. Maybe just even some sort of recognition for the individual skill base if they don't wanna change it entirely, but, like, I think individual performance matters, and I know it's like a team game or whatever, but at the same time, like, not everybody on the team is at the same skill level every time, so well, and that's the other side of that too, is there's people that don't, not to sound like an asshole, but there's people that probably don't deserve to be top of the boards, top ranked players in Arena or a lot of other competitive games because they're able to queue in 5 stacks and essentially get
Yep.
carried. They may not do much, but it doesn't matter because their team did well, so they get to just keep grinding up, passing up players who aren't getting great teams and are getting screwed over, but are outperforming them 10, 20 times, so, individual performance definitely should matter, and it's kind of a shame that the rest of the gaming world hasn't come to that conclusion yet, but one of those things that I guess we just have to deal with, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think there should just be a couple different, like you said, maybe a couple different leaderboards.
or even just break up the queues, which I guess with Arena, it does make sense that you can't because there like you said, there's such a small pool of players already. But, like, have a solo queue, have a team queue, you know? I think that would
Or
help
minimize the amount of
because
people
then
you
you
can
could
queue in ranked with, like, make it 2 or 3 people max so that you're always having to have, like, a random team
you have to
member
rely
too.
on players outside of what you can
Yep.
control, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that would help. Fix it, Tarkov, let's go BSG, get on it. Make individual performance matter. I'll play ranked if it
I mean,
does.
they have
Um,
the system there already with, like, MVP, but that needs some work too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it really does, yeah. Just capture a bunch of points, you're fine. Plant the objective. So when it comes to competitive gaming, do you miss competitive arena or would you go back to competitive Call of Duty in an instant over arena or like if the arena scene was bigger and better, would you just stay here? Like do you have a preferred competitive scene?
I mean, I we could talk about the golden days, back on the BO1, Black Ops 1.
Back in my
Yeah, like,
days. Yeah,
I
yeah,
miss it
yeah.
all. I really do. It was so much
For
fun.
sure, for sure.
But to be honest,
It was yeah,
like,
it was different
I
back
just
then.
want to see Tarkov thrive, and it's been such a long ride with this game, with these developers, and it really is, like, the best of everything, you know? I used to
Yeah, it's for
enjoy
sure.
single player games like, Fallout and Elder Scrolls and stuff, so, like, that walking around
Yeah.
and looting, just kinda mix it in with some competitive shooting, it really Tarkov was, like, the perfect game for me, so, I don't think I could see myself leaving, at least right now. It hasn't pull me away from Tarkov. Like, I've tried to play other games and I always just come back, so
Yeah, there's not many titles, especially right now, that even come close to what Tarkov offers, and it's more than, like, the atmosphere, the ambience, and the skybox even, like, there's so many perfect parts of Tarkov that just, like, work together so well to bring this experience inside of this environment that they've created. The world feels very lived in and alive, it's not just you chasing down okay, sometimes it's not just you chasing down players, W keying forward, like, you can, like, almost live within the game not, like, obviously, you have to exit raid and stuff, but, like, you can kinda create your own narrative that you're playing through, and, like, it's easy to get wrapped up in into Tarkov, you can focus on just tasking, you can focus on just fighting, you can just loot and use the flea market and just be a money hoarder, like,
yeah,
there's so many different facets of Tarkov that make it really, really, really phenomenal.
that's what's so
I
awesome.
do agree that there's nothing comparable to Tarkov at the moment, and I would love for a game other than Arena Breakout to, like, really step up and try to touch on what they've
There's
done, but I just don't know if there's a company that
there's
could
some
do it.
cool stuff out there, like I messed with Delta Force a little bit there, and it was cool. ABI I messed with a little bit. It's okay. It's got some really cool quality of life features I wish Tarkov would adopt. But, in the
Yeah.
grand scheme, it's like all these games are hamburgers and Tarkov's a steak, right? Like, I can eat hamburgers, I
Right,
like
right.
hamburgers, but if I had to pick between a
Yeah,
burger
nothing
and a
wrong with them.
steak, I'm gonna pick a steak every single time.
All day long, yeah, every time. Um, so with that, you said you have 10 plus thousand hours in Tarkov, and assumedly most of that is from 2018 on, or 2018
Yeah,
on, right?
correct.
What is it that got you so invested in Tarkov to begin with, and what is it that has kept you playing Tarkov for so long?
So it was just the best mixture of game for me. I mean, it was you that feeling of that reward and the loss, like the high risk, high reward scenario, it no other game beats it. I mean, you have games like Rust and DayZ where it has a similar kind of feeling to it, like when you lose, the lows are low, right? But for some reason, just
Yeah, yeah.
Tarkov just does it differently. And this hardcore wipe's even been, I what I would say is if I could go back to the beginning and start over again, I totally because like my first couple thousand hours were the most fun that I've ever had with the game. Not knowing everything
Oh,
was
yeah.
was
Yeah,
really cool.
right. Yeah, there's something about the mysteriousness of Tarkov, like, not having seen Cultists before and running into
Oh
them for the
yeah.
first time. finding your first marked room key, clearing your first squad, winning a really tough fight, hitting some sick snipe shots from across the map or whatever. Like those things that you can do now, and they're just second nature, and it's almost just you're almost robotic in sense of like not caring, or at least not having that same initial feeling as what you used to get. I remember playing Tarkov back in the day and like sub 1,000 hours, I'd be creeping through shoreline or woods, like not making a sound, avoiding every possible, like no bushes, no sticks, no nothing. Don't step anywhere you
Yeah,
shouldn't.
I
And
crabbed
like,
hard too.
just doing, yeah, just like trying to survive for so long. And then like you hear a noise. It's not even a player. You just hear a noise and you just stop and you're looking around. And then like a gunshot goes off near you, your heart start racing. Like it's
I miss it,
crazy
dude.
that Tarkov can build up on that. Yeah. And there, you just don't get that back anymore.
Yeah, you become
And there's
numb
no
after
games that do that.
like a certain amount of time, I feel like, though. Like, you start to recognize all the gunshots. Me, I'll hear a gun shoot, and I know exactly what that is. I'm like, "Oh, that was an AS Val," or, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was an M700," or
Right.
whatever, and it's like, I don't know, having the mystery, like you said. What I will say is, like, I think the game was a lot of fun too back then because, marked rooms had like weapons cases and the fridges.
Crazy loot,
Yeah, that
yeah.
stuff was so much fun hitting a marked room. I remember my first ever hit on marked. There was a double weapon case spawn, and I died in that raid, and it was like the most heartbreaking death that I remember.
Yeah,
And it's like, dude, like
yeah,
bring that back to the game because that was so to me that was like the most fun.
1000%. Yeah. Introduce a kernel level anti-cheat, which we can get into cheating and stuff in a minute, but, like, introduce a kernel level anti-cheat to where we can have those features back, and let us have those features back, because yeah, I remember my first time, it wasn't even anything that special. It was like an ejector case, a dog tags case, and an ammo box, and I was just like, "Oh, dude, this is huge." Like, I was still really early in, I just found a dorms marked room. I think I had a labs card or something in there too, but, like, it was nothing special, but it was enough. And like I was just like dead sprint out of dorms trying to get to car, you know what I mean, as fast as I can. I'm in the middle of car extract and like I'm freaking the fuck out and I get murdered and I'm just like, no, like it was like so
Yeah,
depressing. Like I remember like not even wanting to raid after that. I was just like, oh, this
yeah.
sucks.
Finding
What's the point? What's the point?
finding those key cards
It's
back in the day when they were 50 mil or 80 mil, that was a really, really
yeah,
crazy.
unlimited
Yep.
use, dude.
I think they should keep
I
that.
miss that. Yeah.
I like the way that it is now, but I think that they should have like those ultra rare cards that are infinite use, kind of like the skeleton key version of the key card, and it would still be
Yeah.
worth,
Yeah.
50 mil or 80 mil to get unlimited uses on that key card. I think that would be such a cool concept.
Right. And if the drop rate's like 0.0001 or something, like, it's so rare, it doesn't happen
Yeah, yep.
frequently, like, that's not a bad thing, I don't think at
Imagine an
all.
Infinite Labs access card. It'd be worth like 200
Dude, that would be
mil. It would
nuts.
be
Yeah.
crazy, the craziest thing.
Easy. Easy. Yeah. That would be insane. And that, that's doable. That seems like something they could absolutely do, and players would be fine with. Players would actually appreciate that one, I think.
Yep.
I don't know. That would be cool, though. Yeah, the unlimited use key cards, even if it's just ultra rare, bring them back.
Yeah.
I'm not against weapon cases either, but in the current state of Tarkov, with the anti-cheat that we have now, excuse me, it's kind of hard to justify those things because, like, well, I guess let's start here. Do you think cheating was worse back in the day, or do you think it's worse now?
I don't I feel like it's been the same, like, if I'm being completely transparent. I think that I think this wipe, it felt the worst because of how hard the wipe was. But I will say, like,
Fair,
to me, I don't think you change the game because of the cheaters and the RMT, right? There's many games out there that have markets like that. We're not getting rid of cheating. It's impossible for us to get rid
right?
of it completely. But don't
Yeah,
ruin the
exactly.
game for the people that aren't cheating and that are playing and having fun. The cheaters are going to ruin our raids for us anyway whenever we run into them, right? Like that's just it's going to
Right.
happen.
Whether there's loot on the ground or
Exactly.
not, cheaters are going to be
And
there. It's a cat and mouse game. Close the door, they open one. It's inevitable that cheaters are going to be a part of the life cycle of any game that's got any kind of competitiveness to
yeah,
it.
and I just don't want it sucks when they like ruin the game for the people that are legit and that are playing it, right? Like I again,
Yeah,
I my favorite memory is dying with those 2 weapons cases. Like it's just like one of those
for
things
sure.
I mean I was clenched up trying to sneak my way around the outside of the map
Yeah.
and I just happened to run into this one kid that was like hiding in the bushes. You know where the on customs the junk bridge? I went across the junk bridge and died
Yeah,
right
yeah, yeah,
across the
yeah,
junk
yeah.
bridge, and then my just heart sank.
Big red
Yep.
side.
You're right
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and it
I actually ran into that same scenario, not with weapon cases, but just yesterday I was trying to do shooter-born and chasing a guy that was running across land bridge. I missed my shot, so I go running across and I die to a bush.
yeah, it sucks, but I just, I've had many raids where I killed a guy that brought in his backpack stack by accident, or he brought in, like, cases that were in his backpack with, like, a couple helmets and stuff
Right.
in
Yeah,
it.
that happened a lot too. Yeah. You could bring in anything. So, like, you could run around and, like, oh
One
my
of the best
gosh,
ways to make money was to take a
impose
fridge into Interchange and just hit go.
just fill it up. Yeah,
But,
just
like, let
fill it
us
up.
risk it. Let us make that decision, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You could impose these extra risks on your PMC that added extra stress, extra worry, extra fun to your raids. Like, like, oh man, if I die, like I've got 2 docs cases sitting in my backpack. This player's gonna be happy as hell. They got bitcoins, they got this, they got that. Like into white, being able to just take in my most expensive kit with just stupid amounts of shit in my backpack and everything else and just like drop it somewhere was also a lot of fun. Like dumb, but fun. I'd lay it somewhere and then people come up, start looting it, and you kill them, right? Like you're just a rat. Like you just do stupid stuff. Like there was just more fun to be had when we had more freedom with what we could find in raid and take in raid.
Yeah,
And yeah, dude, I've lost like a 20 stack of bags one time taking them in, just like throwing a kit together, just like
yeah, we've all lost some stuff that we didn't mean to, or we went in with a quest item we forgot to take out of our inventory, like, it happened.
that is a quality of life change I am
Yeah,
very
it's
happy
huge.
with. Uh yeah, that one's awesome. Also, let me ask you this, completely off topic. Do you utilize the search
I
bar?
do, it's amazing.
After so many hours without it, I never thought like, the whole time I was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna click that thing." I instantly picked it up, and it is like, I put my entire kit together 100% through that
It
search
took me
bar.
a while. Now, I'll be honest, I don't use it as much as I should, but, like, when I really can't find something, I'm like, "Damn, let me just search this up." Like, specifically keys.
I abuse it, dude. Yeah, keys are really nice for it. You just type in the
Like,
number or
"Oh,
the
do I have
name
this
or
key
whatever, and
for
you
this
got it.
quest?" Type it up. "Oh, yep, I do
Yep.
got it," or, "No, I don't got it. Crap." So, it's nice, yeah. There's a lot of things that
Got Dragnet?
do I? No, I
No, yeah, it was just everybody
yeah.
asks. It's the
Yeah. You can find people in the EFT cord. There's definitely people in the official cord.
Yeah, yeah, there's people there. Um Yeah, I don't know why. I thought I was gonna struggle with it, but it's I picked it up right away, and I love it. I abuse that tool.
Yeah.
It's a feature that has, been
They
really
have been
handy.
adding some nice quality of life stuff over the last, year, I would say. Like the
For
magazine, the
sure.
presets on the magazine is really dope.
Yeah, now I don't have to sit there and, like, stack
Yeah.
bullets over and
A
over and
lot of
over.
people don't
Yeah.
use that, so it's really nice.
I underutilize that one.
And
Yeah.
I don't use it
Um,
much anymore, the kit, like, preset. When I was farming
the drop down boxes, those are
well,
cool.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about the preset, so you can, like, set a preset.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
used it when I
Yeah,
was
like, for
farming
your
Killa, so it was nice for the Killa farm
fair
for sure.
enough. Right. Yeah, you constantly rotating out kits with that one. I need to go do tracksuit. I need to just buckle down and do it.
It's rough, but it's
I
way
just
like, when I did it, it was 11% spawn rate, so it was brutal, but, the cool thing is you don't have to
it's
do it
turned up
over
now at
anymore.
least, yeah.
Like, you do it once and
Right,
it's
it's a
done.
one and
Yeah,
done.
that's nice.
It'd be cool if they would let the kills progress over the wipes, that way I could have, like, 60 by now, but we're
Yeah, I mean,
good.
to be fair,
Cool.
I'm kinda pick on people that get suit now because, I call them
It's so
event
much
suits. They're
easier.
not really a real tracksuit.
Yeah.
Everybody getting these 100% spawn rates is just ridiculous. I
Yeah, that's
deserve
not
one with, like,
fair.
gold stripes or something, like, I need a different tracksuit.
Honestly, I that's something I wish BSG would do. I think that there are a lot of really cool skins
Yep.
and potentially even just, like, other things that they could do, face masks, helmets, whatever, for accolades for players who have done things throughout the beta leading into 1.0, like the beta, the what are they called? The pre-alpha beta users or whatever, pre-alpha beta, Jesus Christ. The alpha players, like the ones that were in here from the very, very day one. Like those guys should get something
Yeah, we
special.
got alpha armbands.
Those of
I
us
got one.
who Oh yeah, you do. You get the alpha
Yeah.
armband. That's right. Okay. But they could do that for a lot of things, like the OG tracksuit.
Yeah, there was a on
What
Twitter, I
else?
saw, like, a red tracksuit, but I don't know what that ever was gonna be.
Yeah. I'm
That would've
I'm
been cool.
still questioning a few things that they've posted because, like, they've shown hand wraps specifically, and that kinda makes me think, like, are they gonna let us customize what's on our hands? Because that's one of the things we see the most as PMCs is our own hands. I would love to be able to wear my mission multicam jacket without white gloves. Like, can I just put on some multicam gloves
Yeah,
too? Like, that
a
would be
glove,
cool.
slot would be pretty cool. I agree.
Um, then they've shown, like, red tracksuit, they showed a, Flecktarn tracksuit, maybe it wasn't Flecktarn, it was some sort of German pattern, I'm not 100% sure, but, um,
The
I think there was
camouflage,
even
like digital camouflage, whatever
yeah,
it was.
yeah, there was
I
a
think I remember seeing it.
maybe it was digital, yeah. But yeah, they showed that as well, and then, there's been a few other outfits, they showed off that blue and white shirt, it looks like water almost. I think it even says surf on it
Hmm.
maybe. But, like, they've shown off a lot of stuff, hopefully that's all coming with 1.0. Do you think we're gonna get weapon skins, like the
I do.
camouflage paints from Arena? Do you think we'll be able to have
Yeah,
those
I
in base
think
game?
they've said something
And
about
do
that before, actually. I think I remember I think I recall them saying at some point that camos will be in main game.
you think it'll be with 1.0?
I really hope so. That one,
Yeah.
there's one arena camo that is super sick that I got from one of the APS.
The purple
It's like
one?
a
The hex grid
yeah,
purple one?
it's like a purple and turquoise kinda.
Gold? Oh. Oh, the, like, tribal looking print one?
It's, man, I'll have to pull up arena.
There's a few event
Yeah.
ones, yeah, I
There's
can't
one
think
that's
of them
really
all off the
cool.
top, but yeah, there are a few.
I think it might be called
I need to
Digital
pay
Hex.
attention when those arena events are
I
happening.
gotta I'll yeah,
Maybe?
I'll look it up real quick, but yeah, I really hope
Word.
that they go further with that. I mean, we don't need, like, crazy pink camouflage. Yeah,
Fortnite
you know what I mean?
crazy
Like, we don't
shit.
need all
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
but just give us some stuff to grind
Introduce
at, you know? Like
camos.
the new camos,
Right.
they look so bad to me. The gold
Yeah, there's
ones.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, not a
Uh,
fan. I'm working on the vector just so I can get the number plate. That's
yeah,
all I care
that's
about is that
sick.
number plate.
I think that's awesome
Yeah,
having numbered things. Like,
yeah.
I think that would've been cool for, like, all kinds of different things they could have done with the tracksuit, with the Predator shirt.
Right.
Like, having all that numbered would've
Yeah,
been
that's the other
so
one,
dope.
Predator. Yeah,
Um,
right. Then you can flex a little
yeah,
bit. And Tarkov, as great as it is, that's where it falls short in my opinion. There's not enough personalization. I don't want Call of Duty style. I don't want like over the top collars and crazy shit. But I do want to be able to like choose if I have facial hair or tattoos or
yeah.
something maybe or fuck, I don't know. Like let me at least pick the collar of shirt I'm wearing, right? Like I don't know. Maybe that's too much. I also am like super geek over the fucking clothing options. I sit here and like play My Little Pony and shit on here, you
Yeah.
know, like I'm constantly just like looking at outfits like does this match? Does this work? Do I like this? Does it match with this helmet? What about this? Blah blah blah. It's
I
stupid.
like the earning
But
of the items or of the clothing. I think that part's cool, like, that sense of achievement.
that is cool. Yeah. Yeah. Because it is an accolade and not everybody gets those, right? Like the tracksuit is not something that every player is ever going to get. You know, there's probably a majority of the players out there that won't get tracksuit. Because let's be honest, 100 kills in a wipe, especially with the shorter wipe cycles that we've had, can be a little rough if you're not just grinding interchange over and over and over. Yeah, yeah,
This
yeah,
one.
that
Yeah,
one.
the
That
Hex
is
SES.
let me make this a pop out real quick.
Yeah, to me, this is the coolest camo.
Display capture. Yeah, that I love that one. I missed
You
it.
didn't
I
get
did
it?
not get it,
Oh, man, it's
unfortunately.
such a pretty gun.
No, I haven't gotten any of the Twitch skins. I like just don't catch them.
Yeah, this one was super dope. And then they have the gold ones just underperform this camo to me.
Yeah, nothing compares to that one. That one's sick. Uh yeah, I just use the SLR green, I think it's called.
Let's see.
Like bottom left.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just use
it's
that
not bad.
because I don't have any of the cool
And the
ones. You know what I mean?
Twitch one's okay, but
Yeah,
that
I
one's
like the
okay.
tiger stripe too, but yeah, that one's sick. The hex is
Yeah,
sick.
it's my favorite one. I didn't get all of them either. When main game wipes,
That's the one
I
I was thinking of, the tribal
grind
one.
main game. I
Yeah,
kinda stay
same,
off arena.
same. I do my dailies because ref is so completely broken. Well, that's a bad word choice. He's not broken. You got to earn it. You kind of have to, you know what I mean? Just like all any of the other traders. Um, He does have really good deals, though. The GP coin prices are kinda low, in my opinion, like, I feel like they could be and should be much higher.
I think the only part that gets broken to me is the ability to get cases and stuff that you can't get from the other traders, as easily.
True,
Um,
yeah, and they're
they've
readily
kind
available
of
too
fixed
early.
the ammo problem, right? Like GP coin, like you can't just go spam M61 like you could before,
No, I think they
in
capped
like
it at 6 or 7
FP6 and stuff.
boxes, and they're kind of
They're
expensive.
really
It's a
expensive.
f yeah, because 'cause you're only getting boxes of 20, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
they're way
that's
more
pricey.
expensive.
Um,
The only thing I even use GP coins is for, like, razors and,
Razors
uh,
and the GP and VGs.
the voodoo.
I like night
Voodoo.
raids though. So if you okay, let me ask you this. If you had an ideal setting in for your raids, do you just want optimal like vision for, so like good sun, not too many shadows, or do you like have an optimal or not even optimal? Do you have a preferred weather or time that you like to run raids in? Like me, I
It
like
depends on what I'm doing, man. If I'm PvPing, I want it to be bright. Like, I I don't know, I have a hard time seeing sometimes. So,
fair.
for me, the night raids, they're fun, if you're, like, hunting cultists, and the PvP can be really because you almost always come out super juiced if you run into people that are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
quad nods, they're
Right.
going in with pretty kitted
Pretty
guns.
pretty kitted, yeah, typically.
Yeah, when I was going for the achievement for to RPG the cultist, man, I was
Yeah.
the people I were
Yeah.
killing were absolutely geared to the gills, and that was
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
um,
I don't doubt it. Especially that
but,
late in
yeah,
the wipe, like, that was yeah.
my main map is Labs, so it's pretty lit now. I mean, it was dark there for a while, but they kinda fixed it. It's not
How'd
that
you
bad
get
anymore.
by on labs pre-light fixture? Light fixture, okay,
Uh,
pre-light fix.
I kinda stayed away from it for that, like, wipe or whatever that it was like that,
Super
if I'm
dark,
being
yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough, it
I
was
mean,
rough.
that's what made me hate Interchange for many, many years, how dark it was on
Yeah,
Interchange,
the
but
interchange
now
lighting change
you
was
can
huge, it's
see.
so good.
Dude,
So good.
it's one of the most well laid out maps. I despised it for so long, and now they fixed it. I actually enjoy playing it again.
What do you think they're gonna change with the interchange expansion? Do you think it's just expanding the mall, or do you think we're getting new buildings around the outskirts, or maybe breaking up some of that open areas throughout the middle zones?
I hope they do some stuff on the outside of the mall. I mean, I think the mall in itself is really cool, but, like, there's nothing on the outside of the map. Like,
Right,
it's not, at least Shoreline, you have your central PvP zone like the mall, right?
right.
But, like, on the outside, you don't with Shoreline, you have a couple different areas you can go loot. You got the village, new area,
You got weather
like the little
station,
farm or
power
whatever,
plant,
weather station.
pier,
There's
farm,
Yep,
village,
there's a bunch
cottages.
of POIs out there,
Yeah, yeah.
and you don't have any of that on Interchange.
Well, and you get the hills and the rocks and things that break up the terrain a bit, so it's not just open
Yep.
sight lines.
I hope
Interchanges
I
is
hope there's some stuff on the outside. I hope it's not just on in the mall.
yeah, especially towards, like, Railway Exfil side, or I guess the front of the mall. Just that open highway, and then it's open all the way through there minus, like, the s
See, I think they're gonna go the other way with it. I think that they're gonna go back of the mall.
Emercom side, you
I
think
think
they're
no
gonna expand
bag.
that out a bit?
Yeah, because that whole wall right there like, in my eyes, I feel like they blow that wall out and they kinda extend backwards.
That would be cool, I would like to see that. Because it feels kinda trap-like if you just run down the wall. Like, I always try to cut underneath just to avoid getting shot out in the open.
Yeah. I don't even take a backpack to interchange. I literally just
Yeah,
no
just
bag
go
extract.
to the wall extract, that's fair. That's fair. Um, what about Lighthouse? With the Lighthouse rework, we're also getting a Reserve rework. What would you like to which Reserve, I don't know how they would rework it because they specifically said rework, not expansion. So that one, I'm still a little on the fence about, like, what I think they may do. But what about Lighthouse? Like, how do you see them expanding it, changing it, making it flow a little better?
I don't know what they'll do, but what I do know is that they need to do something
Yeah,
because it is horrendous. That map
yeah.
is
So
like
I
there's no
probably
reason.
have 500 to 1,000 hours playing Lighthouse. For whatever reason, I gravitated to that map when I first started playing. I think it was just the loot at the chalets kinda drew me in.
Oh, it was amazing. The loot
Yeah,
used to be insane. It was
insane.
worth playing the map.
Yeah.
But, like,
Now it feels
now
relatively empty and just super congested with
the beach,
players and player
dude, the
scavs.
beach side of the map is so, like, there's no
Non-traversable, just avoid it.
when you spawn there, it sucks. It's like, "Okay, well,
Yeah,
this is a spawn I'm probably gonna die in. Like, I'm probably dead
100%.
here."
There's somebody already watching you as soon as you spawn in, guaranteed.
Yeah, they need to figure out a way to break the terrain up, to put some loot POIs on that side of the map. Like, even if they kept it the way it is, like, there's a couple buildings over there, there's no loot in there really to go in. They
Right.
need to have some reason to traverse that side of the map and not feel like, "Oh, man, this is a death spawn."
Yeah, and I think some sort of maybe rolling hills through there or something to just break up the sight line would be nice because from the rundown cottage for hideout under landing stage extract for scavs all the way to the seaside chalets or whatever the fuck they're called, like, it's just white, like, you can see clear as day, like, it's a bit rough, and then you have all the high rocks and things that people sit up on, so if you do try to go over there for your lightkeeper tasks or any other reason, I think there's a task that takes you over that way, maybe not. But it's just
You gotta
it gets rough. It gets
the
rough.
Lightkeeper quests, yeah. You have to go plant the, things from, like, network provider, and then you have to go plant the, mark
Oh yeah, when you're
tank. That's
building
pretty much
the
all that you
yeah,
do.
yeah. But yeah, I think the high rocks are kind of part of the issue too because it opens up people to just see everything. I don't know. It definitely needs work though. There's a lot they could do. I would like to see them move the rogue camp, like push it back into the mountainside, open up that left side of the map, maybe drain like 20 feet of water out and put a couple POIs through there, maybe a few houses or buildings or something and try to maybe change up some of the routing through the rock paths. I think that would be an
Yeah,
like ideal
I
changes, but will they go that
I
far?
think that they could put some kind of, like, tunnel system over there to kinda so that
That
you
would be
don't have to
cool.
traverse the
Yeah.
upper side of the map and
Yeah.
you're not subject to being sniped from anywhere. Like, they already have that, co-op extract,
Yeah.
like, that tunnel and stuff there. I think if they had some kind of tunnel
Open that
system or,
up,
like
put like some military base type stuff in there, put like a
yeah, it'd be sick.
depot and some
There's a lot of stuff
barracks.
they could do
Yeah,
for sure,
for
for
sure.
sure.
Um, and I'm
They
sure
need to
they'll
fix
come up with
Rogue
something.
Eye, though,
Yeah. Yeah.
immediately.
Holy shit. Yeah.
The insta headshot is
It's
crazy. I'm
insane.
about sick of it. I
I was
just finished
hoping it was
doing
just
my
like,
100 rogue kills,
oh damn. Yeah, that's rough. That's a
and
rough
it
time.
sucked. Yeah.
Can't peek them. Like, it's optimal to go at night, but you don't wanna run night raids every single time, and I love nighttime. My optimal raid is pouring down, like, monsoon fucking rain, pitch black, me with my nods on, like, that's it. That's all I want. Every
I
raid to be
used to
that.
enjoy it when cultists were like, so Shoreline, when they had the 4 spawn spots for them, the 4
Yeah,
spawn
yeah,
locations,
right.
I mained nighttime Shoreline because farming cultists was so much fun to
Dude, it
me.
was a blast.
Um,
Yeah.
I do enjoy night raids, but I kinda gravitated away from that, and now I just kinda play
Well, I
daytime,
mean,
just hunt PvP.
there's a pretty huge deciding or, I guess, deciding factor between you and I when it comes to Tarkov. The way we play Tarkov and the things we look for from Tarkov, I think are pretty different within each other. You are what they would consider to be a W key Chad, right? And
Yeah, I like to
while I can be aggressive when needed, I prefer a slower, more methodical play style. I'm like walking around real quiet, taking screenshots. Not all the time, but like I look for optimal shot placement over just like surprising them and being on top of them. You know what I mean? So, I can understand gravitating away from night raids because a night raid, you're typically looking to just, like, run suppressed, hit the shot, clean them up, and get out of there before anybody even notices, right? Like, that's my ideal situation, where even for you, I'd say your night raids is like, "No, I just rush these motherfuckers down," like, I burn them down, like, um,
yeah,
what
I
was
definitely
it
enjoy the
go ahead.
high octane PvP. I definitely enjoy the high octane PvP. I'm trying to, you know, I'm one of the people that really pushes the players. So a lot of people hold angle tight right, and they don't move. They hear the noise enter the dorms, and then they just stop moving. Right, like
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
lot
that's
of
too
the
much.
player bases like that, and it's just not the way that like I'm very
Guys,
aggressive. I try to clip people. Try to.
for sure. At minimum, crab walk. Never just stop moving entirely. Don't rat. Don't rat.
You heard it.
Just
You heard it
crab.
here. Don't do it.
I am close to a rat, technically, I guess, technically, kind of, closer than some, um, but crabbing is the way if you wanna stay quiet, alright? You can still move
It's
around. You
smart,
don't have to just sit in a
right?
corner.
It's like it just depends on what you're trying to get out of it, right? Like I when I'm so for instance, as a Sherpa, when I'm teaching people, I try to show them the ways to like minimize the amount of noise you're making. Like so, for instance, if you have your walk key, if you enable your walk key and you're crabbing around walk, you don't make noise. Whereas if you like when you spin, right? So
Right,
if
right,
you're
right.
moving when you turn, it doesn't make any noise. Whereas if your feet are stationary, even if you have your walk key enabled and you shift, your
It
character will
makes a
make
lot of
that
noise,
noise where he
yeah.
shuffles. And I show them the difference so that they can see that. Like it's one of the things you teach because it is the most optimal way to survive, right? Like
Right.
quiet, you have a better chance. Like
Well, you
I
can hear
get
what's going
ambush
on around
tactics.
you. Yeah, for sure, and I mean, there's a reason they work, it's because they are viable. It is a viable option, it's something that does work, and I mean, sitting in a corner also works. It's just the idea of wasting your time not doing other things while somebody's moving around underneath of you. 9 times out of 10, they probably already heard you walking around anyways. Like, they wouldn't push to your area if they didn't know you were there. I mean, sure, there's the one-off where they're looting or just kind of being oblivious to the area. But when you're in resort or dorms, you're in a high function or high traffic area that's already, got people wanting to pop off in there. Sitting in one corner, as soon as you ADS, your gun makes noise. As soon as you shift, your gun makes noise. As soon as you start to move, you're making noise. Like, I guess when you shift, your gun doesn't make noise, you make noise. But like everything you do makes noise when you're sitting still. And it's just like, do you really win that many more fights versus moving? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think the majority of the player base still holds on to this, especially with the hard like the gear fear thing. Dude, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. For me, the I was in a weird spot with test drive this way. I am not a crab, but when I couldn't get SR2s and I couldn't get the AK-12 suppressor and the Valde, it
Yeah,
made me play so slow when I did test drive 2 and test drive 3 the first time.
for sure.
Obviously, when they opened up the flea market and stuff again, it became,
Right. Yeah.
feasible to do it, but not being able to get all that stuff, it made me have to play a certain way, and I didn't enjoy it. But, and I get it. That's how they feel when they're playing the game is they don't want gear. Like, there's meaning behind that gear. For
Right.
me, it would stop my progress if I lost it. I had to play a lot smarter,
Right.
and when I say smarter, that I mean slower, slower.
Right. Because like while W keying is an efficient way to get things done, and you do typically end up surprising a lot of players, especially the slower players that are trying to focus on survival and they have that gear fear, because that is a huge part of it. Gear fear is like it destroys people's Tarkov
I think it's
experience
the
because
biggest
they can't
part.
get past of it. But yeah, it's like, I'm sure W King has its moments where, or majority of the time, probably even. I don't W key too often. But like when I do, it's like you catch them off guard. You hit the swing first, so you're getting ahead of them. Um, and but it's not always the answer, right? Like there's sometimes where you just can't push that player. You can't do those things. Do you still W key through those areas? Like, are you just like full steam, or do you switch up your play
You
style
shouldn't.
based on? Okay, so I
You
assume your
shouldn't,
answer's a
but
little different then.
yeah, I still do though. Yeah, so like it just depends on the scenario, right? Like if I have gas analyzer and I survive, but like if we're talking, for instance, I have a quest where I need to get kills in dorms. Well, my patience isn't there for me to sit there and just an angle, even
Wait
though
for
I know
people to come
hardest
and
move.
right.
Yeah. So like for instance, for me, I may toss a grenade, try to back them angle, and then I'll push up and take a weird off angle on the left hand or something. So like I'll try to get them to move because it's really hard to take some. Um, but especially when you don't know they're there. So like a big part of the key gameplay, trying to bait shots, right? Like you run, you got a free look, and you kind of like you just put yourself in situations where you draw. Right, that's what you're trying to do the whole time is to get them to move. So sometimes it's just throwing a grenade down a doorway or down a hallway, and you can hear that slight shuffle sometimes. So
I
big part of W key gameplay is just getting people to make a mistake. Really,
and I think that's something that a lot of players don't understand about the W keying idea because you run into 2 types of W keyers. the mindless W keyer and the strategic W keyer, right? Like you are obviously strategic about it. You're essentially playing a game of chess while you are trying to do it quickly and as fast as possible and be efficient. You're still making the right choices, making the right plays, throwing grenades, using angles to push them off, and this, that, and the other. Where you run into some W keyers who are just like balls to the wall. I'm just sprinting at you, shooting, and if I kill you, I kill you. If I don't, I don't. What is it that what do you think is the driving force behind those players that just mindlessly W key? Like, do you think that there's like this disconnect from, the idea of actually how to win the fight in those scenarios or maybe like you think that they think it's the optimal route because they see so and so do it and they just think they can? Or like what because like I run into those guys far more often than I run into the strategic W keyer. And it just always blows my mind that they would mindlessly just push without any information, not knowing what corner I'm holding, not knowing if, what's set up for them or anything like that.
I mean, I think it just depends on what the person's trying to do, right? Like if like I don't know, sometimes I'm just going for a clip, right? Like I'll be live, I'm playing labs, I pop a stem and I'm just trying to get that really insane take wipe a four man or a man in like 10 seconds. So it really just comes down to what it is you're trying. Some people they play for survival money, they to do these different things, but it just depends on I guess what the person's. I don't. I mean, you can look at players like Ali or Shoes or Quail, these really insane labs players who have
Right.
really low keys, but
Still
they
top
have some of the
players
most
and they're
insane
yeah.
game mechanic skills, um, and they're trying to farm clips and make montages and stuff. People that's what play the game for.
I guess that's kind of on me for not thinking of that idea either. I typically don't consider the idea that somebody else is making content, right? And that's probably the case more often than not. Um, but it still it just blows my mind because like I can understand your perspective of pushing in the way you push in and using your corners and your grenades as advantages to get ahead and take the kill. But I just cannot understand those mindless W keyers. Like even as someone who tries to W key a little bit, like if I'll be quiet in an area if I don't think I'm there, but if I'm there, there's no sense in it, right? Like I'm just gonna push or at least try to be aggressive about it. And I run into players all the time that just like full steam, don't care, and I just don't understand how you could be so willing to throw kits away, throw your task items away, throw your anything and everything that you're working on away. It's just kind of weird to me. But I guess that's just the mindset of a W keyer versus non W keyer. Because like I've seen some of the things you do. I don't know if it's okay to talk about them, like how you exit raids and things. Like, is that
Yeah.
is
So for me,
that
I try to be efficient. Like so, sometimes that's me just disconnecting for hate, right? So I
which
go in and
I would
I
I
have
would
a
never do.
mindset.
Blows my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are like that, right? Like there's people that stop in my stream and they're like, "Did you just disconnect?" Right? I'm like, "Yeah, I have to run all the way across the map to extract." And just,
Yeah.
you know, I just dump that kit and then I load back in with another kit. By the time I get out of the raid, I'm already in another raid, right? So with limited time, I do work a full time job. I know it doesn't look like it when you look at my pro.
Yeah, you do look like an
Um,
unemployed for sure. Like you absolutely do. Like, especially
which
after
I work
seeing
a
clips, I'm like,
full
this dude no
50-hour
life.
week.
Like, yeah, that's tough, dude. I mean,
Yeah, right.
that's tough. But that also kind of shows people it's not just if you're employed versus unemployed. It's not just how much time you could put in each week into the game. There is a level of skill that matters, right?
Yeah. Well, like I just try to do things as efficiently as possible. I'm always stacking quests. You get a bunch of stacked up quests on Shoreline, and then you go in and you take a whole 40-minute raid to 10 quests in one raid. So that's just kind of like the way I play. So if I have a mindset on what I'm doing in that raid, for instance, if I'm on ground zero and I get all 5 kills, well, I'm probably going to disconnect from the raid after I get my 5 shooter borns.
Fair enough. And when you explain it that way, it does make sense. Like it does because like efficiency wise and just time wise, you're on a limited schedule for what you have time to do. Why spend the extra time running back and forth to the extract over and over? I mean, over a 3-hour session, at least an hour is gonna be eaten up of you just running to extract, right? So I can
Yeah.
completely understand the reasoning behind it. Um,
People love it too. They think it's hilarious when it
it is
happens, so
hilarious, dude, it is hilarious. I saw it once, I was just like, "What the fuck? That's the best thing I've seen." And, like, I've heard people say, like, "Oh, I'll just disconnect," and it's like, hearing it and seeing it are 2 different things, you know what I mean? Like, just watching you murder
Dude.
a guy, take the tag, and just disconnect is hilarious to me, and it's a
Farm in the Suit was the same way. I mean, when I did it, there was a packet loss still, so,
Oh, man, yeah.
you load in, you get packet loss, and you just disconnect from the raid, get another kid on, and go back in.
Try again, yeah. Yeah, the
Yeah,
packet
instead of
loss was
running all
rough.
the way across the map.
Right.
Yeah. It was dumb, but, it's just one of those things that was in the game at the time.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing about building a game over a decade-long period of time through beta with the players, like, we as players are gonna run into anything and everything they run into bug-wise, so it's unfortunate, but, I mean, it's cool that we also got to be part of the experience of being part of the building of Tarkov, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of the changes in quality of life and things that have happened are because of the player base requesting those things or bringing them up or making it known. So, like, it's really cool to be functionally part of Tarkov, right? Um,
Yeah.
it is
I'm definitely
interesting.
happy I got to be a part of it as it grew, and, I'll never forget when I first started at, my very first, like, real like I said, I started in 2017. I played 2 raids, I believe, and then I didn't play again. Well, the very next when I started to play again later in 2018, there was no flea market. So I remember killing a guy with an M4 that it looked really insane. I'll
Yeah,
never forget. So, like, people would bring parts out of Raid and
just
build
crazy
these
shit.
customized
Yeah.
guns, and, like, you kill somebody with that gun, and it's like they put so much effort into making it because,
Yeah, that might have taken
you
them 12
couldn't buy
raids to
the
find all those parts, you
dude,
know?
yeah, it was such a different experience and getting
Finding
to,
a
like,
gun with a
go through
suppressor
that.
on it too was like a high beyond high. Like, it was crazy. I remember the first suppressed gun I found. It had like a tan buttstock, the F1 grenade style or F1 pistol grip with the style 3, the yellow band on it. It was like 3 or 4 different colors and it had a suppressor. And I was just like, "Oh my god, I can finally use a suppressor." Like I was stoked. And like now it's just like you find suppressors everywhere on
Yeah,
anything
you
and
find them
everybody's running
everywhere, you
them.
can buy from traders with no problem.
Yeah.
It's just very different. I mean, the
It,
landscape has changed so much over the years.
it has drastically changed. I mean, if we could look at a day 1 Tarkov versus now Tarkov, night and day difference. I mean, day 1 to whatever day it was when they finally introduced tasks, right? We had no inertia, no tasks. It was just load in, go to factory or customs and just kill, murder
Yep.
everything. Like that was it. And that was a blast. That was a good time. I glad they added tasks, glad they added the progression that they did, but it was also cool to be in that. That was fun. That was interesting. Um, what about the seasonal changes? Does that affect how you play Tarkov at all when it goes from obviously summer, spring, fall, those are all pretty much the same outside of like the brightness, the color, the leaves and grass and things like that. But when it goes to the winter change, does that affect how you play at all, or are you still just doing the same old, same old?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I actually love the snow
I do too,
because
dude.
I
It's
can
my
see
favorite.
people
Yeah.
so well. It makes it where people can't hide that
Yeah, you can't see like the trees
really.
are less dense. You can see through everything. My background is still one of the winter pictures, and then I added
Yeah.
the family.
Dude, I was playing when it switched to the blizzard. It was
We were
such a
too.
cool
Yeah, dude, that
experience,
was
dude.
awesome. We were in
Yeah,
raid.
that
Adam
was
has a clip
probably
of
one of
it.
those unique moments that I'll never forget in Tarkov. And then did you play the event with it was, like, Invincible?
The event what?
The event that had the Invincible Zerachi?
Oh, yeah, 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 that was cool.
Dude,
Dude, that
that
was
was pretty
awesome.
sick with, like, the
Yeah.
moon changing and all that, and
Yeah,
yeah,
dude,
they've done
getting
some
the
really
pictures
cool events over the
they
years, man.
have. So, with us getting closer to 1.0, do you think that with our pre-wipe event, right? I imagine it's the quote unquote, maybe not cultist event that we were looking at, unless that was the 1.0 reveal. Who knows? But one of the roadmaps has like a cultist symbol and then it says event, in game event, or something like that. So we were expecting towards the end of the wipe for us to get a pretty cool event leading into 1.0 because I think it's pretty common knowledge how 1.0 or how Tarkov becomes Tarkov, how things get to be where they are. You know about all that, right? Like the fight with USEC and Bear and UN
I
peacekeepers and the whole
I'll be honest, I've been trying to avoid the, like, looking into everything because I want to
got you. We
experience
can
it.
stop that conversation right there then. So yeah, we'll get back on weather. I don't want to spoil
I'm
anything.
super excited
There-
for 1.0, you gotta understand, like, I've
no, no,
been
no.
playing this
I
game a long
dude, yeah,
time,
trust me, I get
and
it.
and I'm hyped to finally have something that's, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I
Right.
don't
No, that's cool. It's awesome
all of that.
because
Yeah.
I do feel bad, especially after hearing Nikita say like the movie, the books, all this stuff. It kind of lines up with how the game plays out. So it's like hearing that and knowing I've read all 3 books. I'm reading number 3 right now, but I've read the books. I've watched the movie countless times. I keep up with the Chronicles of Rizzy. Like I've ruined so much of that surprise that could be coming, and it kind of sucks, not gonna lie. Like I'm glad I did because it's like, I've been able to make content out of this kind of stuff and like talk about it, and there's a lot of conversations we've got to have based off of the things that they've spoiled and teased and said or just like produced and put out for us to consume. So it's like that stuff's awesome, and I love being able to make content around it, and I love the fact that we have like a community of people that like to speculate and just come up with ideas of what could be. But at the same time, we've ruined so much of what this 1.0 is going to be for ourselves that it kind of sucks. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's still going to be surprises. I'm sure there's things that they're going to change or just.
I
But
I hope it's a ton of them, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
really hoping they've reworked a lot of the skills and that the amount of quests that aren't the Kappa quests that we've come to know and grind. I hope that they've changed so much stuff. Like, I'm extremely excited. No, I haven't been this excited for something in a very, very.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like we're all grown adults and Tarkov still has no issue whatsoever just like making me geek out about it. Something's coming up new. I'm like, "Oh shit, this is happening." Like I go tell the wife and all this stuff and I'm like excited about it, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of wild that a
Yeah,
video
I
game has
actually
like drawn me in this much.
I found out November 15th was the release date, and I vacation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
It's
have
like,
no
I am
plans
going
that
to
week.
play this shit uninterrupted. I am
Yeah.
going to play.
I took a week off from every responsibility I have. I'm doing nothing but Tarkov week 1. That's it. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm gonna, like, try to speed grind to get to end game to try to start seeing the story stuff or I guess we'll see what 1.0 brings. Is there
yeah.
a gun that they have talked about or teased that you know of that you're excited for?
No, not really. I mean, I'm hoping that they put some. I'd love to see like an ACR or something. I do think I saw something about a G11. That was my
Yeah,
gun in Black Ops
yeah.
1, so I
G11's
would
coming.
love to see that gun.
Yeah, dude, that
And
would be
to
cool.
be honest, like burst weapons are just completely underused. I don't
Yeah, I
think I've
mean,
ever ran into somebody using burst, and I've never used it intentionally.
no, not intentionally. I've been pissed off when I go to shoot somebody thinking I'm full auto and I'm in burst with the AK-12 and the MP5 or was it the MP5?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
MP5 has
yeah,
burst mode.
MP5,
Same
yeah.
thing with, I think the G36 as well.
G36 also has burst, yeah, I've done it a couple times on that one too. That's another gun
But,
that people hate on that
M16 would be cool.
I think the
Yeah.
M16 was confirmed. You know about the lever action?
I saw that, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
that one's
cool.
g that's gonna be fun because it's a
Are we getting the
4570, I think.
are we getting the Akimbos like Modern Warfare 2?
Dude, that would be honestly kinda cool. I wouldn't be against it. Two 9x19 or 2 40 cal pistols. That's something else I wish they would add is 40 caliber, like the Glock 22 40 cal. It's such a devastating round, and you can run it in high capacity. It would just be cool. There's a lot of
Yep,
stuff that they could add. But yeah, I've seen quite a few things. I don't want to spoil anything, especially with you trying to keep things relatively tucked in for yourself. So like, there are some things that we could talk about that would be really interesting, but we're not going to touch on. So instead, how often, Mister 10,000 plus hours, W key warrior, ultimate Chad of Chads, uh, how often do you get accused of cheating? Like, by random
uh,
players or, like, in arena matches or whatever it may be, like, how often does somebody come up like, just, like, message you or hop in
it happens
stream
quite a
and
bit, man. Like, I think that, you know, Arena, it I think it's a little bit less in Arena because I think that
the
the
players
play style
there
is.
know how the
Yeah.
play styles are, yeah.
Yeah, they kinda get it, right? Like,
Right.
and I'll even be man enough to admit that I thought cruising from Sicario's NA team was cheating for a very long time. Being someone with a competitive background, this dude would destroy me every time I went against him. There's just no way that I'm
Well,
not
and
getting an one up on this guy, at least here and there.
Right, and from what I've seen,
Uh,
like, even his gameplay almost looks robotic to a degree, like, almost looks assisted.
yeah.
Almost. Like, it's
Um,
to people that don't understand what cheating looks like and don't know what, actual cheats look like when they're in use, I could see a lot of these high tier, or high ladder rank, uh, the top players, being accused of cheating all the time. Absolutely.
yeah, but I've played against them multiple times. I'm really sleazy and
Hell yeah.
undead on that team, and they swear by him. So I think they have integrity and
Right.
somebody cheats. I believe it, at this point. But it happens. I think it's way more common in Tarkov because of my fast play style. It really throws
Right.
people off sometimes, and from it all comes from perspective, right? Like I
Yeah.
showed you one clip there. I don't care
Yeah,
if you,
definitely looks suspect.
yeah, I don't care if you throw it
Definitely looks suspect.
on the stream or on the podcast to show it,
Yeah,
but
link it
it's
to me
just a
and
good
I'll have them put it
example.
in.
Yeah, it's a really good example of perspective, and like from his POV, it looks insane,
It
but
does.
the reality is
It
that
was a clean
it was
shot.
just a
Yeah.
crazy shot, a
Yeah.
clean shot, and I just used movement mechanics that are in the game to
Right.
kind of like you know
Well, and that's
use these
something.
things to an advantage, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. A lot of people don't even consider the idea of desync being something that is affecting how they view what's taking place in front of them, right? I've been killed by people thinking I'm way behind a wall, like, "Oh, I was tucked. I was back there for a minute," And in reality, like, I was still pushing through on their screen. So it's,
Yep, exactly. It wasn't
desync.
server side; it was client side
Yeah, yeah. Desync will
stuff.
absolutely make you think some suspect things happen. You have to look at it from like a level-headed standpoint and consider desync, please. So many people
Yep.
are like, "Oh, he's cheating," and then I watch it back and I'm like, "It just looks like you had some desync there, buddy. It's unfortunate. Like he didn't do anything suspect. He wasn't, shooting through walls or anything crazy." Like, and it helps
Yeah.
if you can see the opposite POV. If they're streaming, hop in and talk to them for a second. Like you can tell pretty easily, especially watching the person play from their POV. But yeah, sometimes suspect looking shots happen from the most legit players. Like it's just
So a few years ago, that I was playing reserve, and back when really really bad. Um, but there was a guy that me and my duo had ran into, and from my perspective, he was flying around the map. Like he was just
like
it looked
floating,
like he was just
flying.
yeah, not floating. He was on the ground, but what he was doing was like really fastly moving through the map. And I was like, "Oh my god, he's cheating, Trent! He's cheating! He's cheating!"
Yeah, like speed
And
hack. Yeah.
it looked like he was speed hacking. And we actually both were streaming. So he killed me, and then my buddy killed him. So when that happened, I was like, okay, well, I went into his stream and I watched his POV. He had his phone, watched his POV. It looked completely normal. So I clipped my side and I showed him, and he was like, "Wow, dude, that's insane."
That is
He
insane. Yeah,
clearly
it's
was
that
not
different.
cheating, but it looked like he was just scooting through the map like super super hyper speed. So I think it's just the servers. It is what it is. Like a lot of
Right.
things we see from
Right.
client perspective, and then it is true to the server.
Yeah.
So it just sucks, but it's the game we play.
It is. It is the game we play, unfortunately. Um, I don't know much about servers, how they work, and what like. Well, I know a little bit about how they work, but like the inner workings and what like how the desync and everything comes to be. I don't understand all that, but I'm not sure if it's fixable. You know what I mean? To that degree, like I don't know if there's something that could be done about it. I don't know if it's just like the type of servers they're running or what. Like I don't know. So I
I
don't
have no
usually
idea.
speak on that much because I just don't understand it. I never looked into it. It's not something I want to learn about. I just don't care enough to learn about it. It's just something I deal with, you know?
Yep,
Um,
same. I don't know much about it either. I just know that when it happens to us, it sucks. But
yeah, that's
um, I mean, when you can kind of tell when people are not legit players, like they do some really weird stuff.
yeah.
Like just predicting. There was a so I actually got a guy. He was clearly cheating. I was playing a nighttime customs raid. I was kills for test drive Pro 6, and I heard Rashal at Old Gas, and I'm like, or New Gas, I should say. I heard him at New Gas, and I heard well, that sounds like a cheater. Just joking. Like I was just making a joke. I
Yeah.
run all the way over there, and he's like, HardcoreHezi, stay away. I don't.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And
Dead
I'm like,
giveaway.
oh, well, this kid's cheating because,
How's he know your
some
name?
people will
Right,
try to
right, right.
play it off. Yeah, how do you know my name? It's not like if I killed somebody, then I'm like, okay, well, that kid got my name because I killed his teammate, this, that, and the other. But I hadn't killed anything that raid yet. So when he said that, I was like, oh, well, this kid's cheating. And
Yeah.
he like tried to run away from me, but I chased him down. He didn't kill me. I killed him. And he proceeded to stream snipe, killing me, just instant headshotting me. He
Damn.
is now banned. Yeah, he's now
Yeah, as he
banned.
should be.
Yeah.
Which I guess brings me up to my next kind of topic, which is more Sherpa related stuff. What made you want to become a Sherpa?
So originally, when I was around 5,000 hours applied, I never heard anything back. I just kind of like chalked it as well. Maybe I didn't qualify or whatever the case may be. But I enjoy helping people, right? So like in some of my streams, people would come in like, "Hey, I'm having a hard quest, me, or you have this key," and I'm like, "Yeah, sure, come on, hop in the raid with me. We'll go get it done." And so I would do that, and things that um, would kind of help me build a little bit of community, and people come back, and it was just I enjoyed helping people. People really struggle in this game. It's an extremely hard game to learn, and I am very passionate about it. So when I see people that are struggling and then I get to help, like one of my favorite memories as a Sherpa was helping a guy who I think he had like 15 hours or something like that. But he just hadn't lived a single raid. He had like 40 raids played. He had like 2 scav survivals, no
Damn.
PMC survives.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, man, this is rough. So we load into a raid, we kill a couple scavs. He goes and jumps on the bodies, and he's like, "Oh my god, they're juiced!" He's like bugging out
The
over some
scavs?
scavs,
Yeah.
the scavs, yeah. And I'm like, "Oh my god, they are juiced.
Hell yeah,
Let's get
dude.
this
Like, let's
loot, and
go.
I,
Yeah, for
I need
sure.
you to take me to extract. Where are we going? Where are we going?" And we got out, and he was like, "Dude, this is my first ever PMC survival. Like, this is like the best feeling ever." He said, "I get it now. I get why people play this game." And
Yeah.
you know, that to me was like the turning point. I mean, I was already a Sherpa. I had that session, but like that's why I do it, because I don't get that feeling anymore, and so I kind of get to like
Getting it from someone
vicariously
else.
through the other
Yeah,
players.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool, man.
To
Like I
feel
really enjoy that.
good. It's
It
absolutely
does.
feels good, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
And
there's
it's just
something
a
about
video game,
knowing.
but dude,
Yeah, it is just a video game, but at the same time, like, there's something about knowing that you're adding to the player base. Like, you're helping not just players
yep,
learn, but you're growing the game that we all love and enjoy to a point that, we wanna see it succeed. We want it to do well. So, yeah, like,
exactly.
it feels good, it's a beneficial thing, and, yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think it's a really awesome program, and I'm glad that I was approved to be part of it. I think that's, really awesome. So, I don't know,
I'm
if I'm.
excited for you, man. I really am, because it's really cool to be. It's a really small group of people that do this for people, and we volunteer our time. We don't get paid. There's no really there really isn't any benefit to it other than being a part of the community and like really help. So if you enjoy helping people, like you like helping people with tasks, you really enjoy teaching the game, you know, they are always looking for more people to join the Sherpa. It's completely open. The process, I'll kind of give you a rundown of the process. You go into the Sherpa hub. I'm sure you can link it in the
Yeah, we
this
can link it.
video.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
So yeah, you go in there, you request, you can apply for it. What you
There's
do
also
is you
the
start
website.
helping people. Yeah, there's the
Oh, yeah, yeah,
website.
yeah, sorry, go ahead, go ahead.
It's on the official EFT Discord. There's like Sherpa tags in there, or Sherpa channels. You can request a Sherpa. So for people that are struggling with the game, they can request, and we'll see what it is that they're looking for. Kind of jump in there and help people. But for anyone that's interested in becoming one, you have to apply, which you can do on the website, or you can find it in the Sherpa Discord.
Both will be
But
linked.
you, yeah, both will be linked. But what you'll do is you want to help people in the Discord. So there's like offering help channel. You go in there, you start posting, hey, this is such and such. I have this many hours. I really enjoy teaching people on this map, or and you just help people, and you do it for a little while, and then eventually you get noticed. Somebody will reach out to you and say, "Hey, do you have any interest?" And you're like, "Oh, I already applied," or whatever the case may be. And I mean, that's kind of the kickstart.
Yep.
Once you get upgraded to a helpful member, you'll have a little bit more access, and yeah, you just kind of continue to do the same, but you'll get some tips and some pointers from some of the mentors, and they'll kind of mold you into, um, you know, a little bit more of a, I guess, organized
Yeah,
session.
a little more structured. Yeah.
Yep, it becomes a structured session, and then once you kind of get good there, you get the opportunity. They'll ask you. You go through some pretty extreme checks with BSG. They'll check your account, make sure you're not a cheater. They'll make sure that you know
Make sure
uh,
what? Your mic cut
bad
out.
things. They make sure you're not cheating. They do like some extensive checks on your account. And then if you get approved for that, then you can become a trial. At that point, you really get judged, um, looked at for your teaching style and how you teach. And then you can request to have a final, and they'll do a final test on you. And if you pass, you become a. If you fail, back to helpful for a little bit, and can
Try
kind of
again
get
later.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are there minimum requirements for someone that might wanna attempt to be a Sherpa? Like, if, somebody wanted to apply for the program, like, should they be, you know, 5,000 hours, level something or other,
There's a few in there with 3,000 hours or so. I think most of them do have a little bit of a higher count, but what it comes down to really is, do you know the game? How well do you know the game? Understand ballistics? Do you understand armor? Do you understand the healing system? You know, the one thing they don't want you to do is to spread misinformation when you're teaching,
I mean, you are
because
molding new players into potentially what they're going to get from their Tarkov experience. So, giving bad information doesn't do them any favors, and it just makes the Sherpa program looks bad and makes you look bad. It's not something. I mean, just in general, spreading misinformation is kind of bullshit, anyways. Like, if you don't know, just say you don't know and look it up. There's nothing wrong with not knowing.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of the cool thing now is that there's a lot of out there for people to learn the game. When I was first learning, there was basically Pestily, right? That was the only guy
Pestily and
informational videos.
the oh my god, what's his name? I can't remember his name. The guy that made like the EFT ammo chart and stuff like that.
Uh,
It's like eaten
I
by
know you're
toast or something like that. Something weird.
no, I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name. There was another guy from Australia that used to make some really good. I think he.
Sorry, No Food
Oh,
After Midnight. That's who it was.
yeah, that's him. Yep, no
Yeah,
food
No
after
Food After
midnight.
Midnight.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got eaten by toast.
It's close.
Yeah,
I mean,
very like, a couple letters off.
food, toast, kind of the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there were very
Um,
limited resources when we first started Tarkov,
very
and just
limited,
and
and
even
now
more
there's
so
a
with you.
ton out there.
Yeah, dude, there's even like a Google Docs page that's on Reddit for your hideout items, like how many you need of each item, what it unlocks in the hideout, and what that does for you in the hideout. And like that's extremely crucial for a new player. That's one of the best things I think that you could give them, because a lot of the time when you're hoarding all these items and trying to put all this stuff together, and you're trying to just figure out Tarkov, you know, knowing you need 15 light bulbs and 26 wires and five, whatevers is kind of daunting for players, and it's a lot to try to track, and you end up grabbing stuff you don't need, and then you don't know what to sell, you don't know what to keep. So it's like
Yep,
the amount of tools that
and
they've
that
added to make life so much easier for new players is more than I honestly expected them to do almost ever.
and that's a big part of what we do. We give them the how to figure out that kind of stuff, right? Like there's
Yeah,
the wiki page is huge. I mean, we
wiki
kind
is
of
huge.
that's the Bible, as we call
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
So, there's a couple images on there that you can save, and you can always pull those up. Like, I need this for my hideout, and kind of tab out real quick, look at it. Oh yeah, I need this. So I don't want to drop this. So that's like one of the big things that
You might
you
cut out.
know we just teach people how to figure out how to decide what they need to keep or what they need to sell.
Yeah.
Um, as
Just
well
kinda
as
try to, like, wrap up
all the
all this
basics.
general basic game knowledge into a easy to consume package for the new players.
And it's not just for like new players. I mean,
Right.
tons of people out there with a few thousand hours that maybe have never played labs or maybe they've never really touched streets. They like always avoid those maps for whatever reason. Some people they just say, "Hey, I want to learn streets," and you kind of go in there and you'll play raids with them. And some people just want to get better at PvP. Like they don't understand how to Ferrari peek or how to gain information. I'm sure you've seen it before, but you can like jump past the corner and then jump back.
Right,
If
right,
you
right.
if you know how to jump correctly, you
Yeah.
can you can like yeah, you just get information different ways. Um, so there's a lot of different things that you can learn, and it doesn't just come. It's not just for new players.
No,
Um,
absolutely not, for sure. Like, I even learn new things all the time. I was watching Desmond not too long ago, which I don't know how you whatever. But, he was just saying something that I had never thought to do and probably would never have thought to do. He was like, QE leaning is so hard to do when you're trying to circle strafe or RE peek or anything like that. Why not move those buttons to your mouse? And just
yep.
that one sentence right there, I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, I
Like,
I
that makes
also
so
have
much
my.
sense. Like,
You can't actually Ferrari peak with Q and E. You have to
right,
unbind it.
yeah,
You have
that's
to bind it
true.
to something else. So that's
Yeah.
why I always do the same. I always teach that as well when
Yeah,
I'm
that's
teaching.
really useful, and I didn't learn that till, like, probably, like, 3,500 hours, you know what I mean? 4,000 hours, somewhere around there. Like, it was not that long ago at all. Like, it really wasn't. And again, because I don't W key a lot, I'm not, like, super aggressive in my fights, I never thought I needed that information, but again, I'm trying to get more into the flow of just being not, like, W key constantly, but at least enough to, like, be confident when I go to push those fights, like, I know what I'm doing, I know how to use these techs and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like,
Well,
the
it
if
often helps to know that like that concept so you can counter. If I know I'm
also
going
true.
up another aggressive player,
Right.
then I know that I can play differently.
Yeah, if you know they're a pretty strong player based off movement that you've seen and the way they've been, reacting as it is, like, you can assume they're going to Ferrari peak or they're going to be
Yep.
jumping across this hall and trying to peek off this corner and, like, there's some repetitiveness that you start to learn that translates 100% into the offensive side of it, not just defensively, but being able to react to those
That's
players and attack off of it.
yep. And when you're and you can tell you'll be like, okay, going up against a player. And that's where off angles really become standing. Okay, well maybe I jump on top of this dresser and then I peek really quick on and a lot of it is map knowledge. Okay,
Yeah,
well
yeah,
if he's leaning in this hallway, like we'll use the marked room on dorms,
for sure.
that hallway that leads to the roof, that that's a very common place for somebody to be,
Camped up,
so
waiting, holding,
you can
yeah.
use your grenades to your advantage to push them off the angle and then take an off angle or run to a room, and then you get your right hand for right hand. There's just so many different things you can do. Really cool. Have a couple experienced people going up against each other. I've fought the best of the best throughout the years.
Yeah, dude, those are some of the best things to watch and learn too. Like, it may be a lot for new players early on when they're still just figuring out the processes and the mechanics of Tarkov. But once you start to get to that point and you're kind of like trying to figure out how to progress your play style and how to progress your fighting mechanics, start watching like top tier players fight each other because they do things that they don't do in regular fights. Like, if you're watching
Exactly.
Willers and he goes and kills somebody that's just an average Joe like me, he's not going to do a lot of the extra peeking and angles and holding and grenades and like he's just not going to do a lot of the extra stuff. But if he's fighting somebody like Hezi or Landmark or Desmond or whoever, Ali or whoever, they're gonna play completely differently against each other because they both know that they both know, right? Like, so
Have you seen
it's
that clip of Ali and Cool D going against each other
no, I don't
on
think I
Labyrinth?
have.
Oh, dude, it's such a cool little like YouTube short.
I'll have to look
But
it
it's
up.
them going against each other. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, that sounds
But
cool.
seeing two really really insane players, it's you know, especially when they don't insta kill the other, right? Like
Right, when there's an
so
actual
funny.
fight that takes place. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I
Yep.
love watching it. I love watching it. And I think that's what's helped me a little bit, at least get in the mindset of aggression is a good thing. Like, sitting back and holding corners can be useful. Like, you can absolutely win fights by being the quiet person, not moving and just holding still. But it doesn't feel as rewarding as winning the fight outright when they know you're there, you know they're there, and you just, like, clash, right? Like, those fights are great. Those fights feel so good.
They feel
Um
great. Yeah,
yeah, they
I
do,
agree.
because, like, I've seen so many people fighting like that, and it's, like, such an adrenaline rush for him. And I'm always like, for a long time, it was always just I'll just hold back if I can get an optimal, head tap, that's perfect. Like, I used to only run single fire because I was always, always only wanting the optimal shots. I wouldn't go in areas if they were hot, you know what I mean? I'd wait and I'd go to try to third party that last kill. And I did that stuff for a while, like probably my first 1,000, 1,500 hours. Like I refused to be aggressive in any way. But I got past gear
Me
fear
too. We
and I
all
got
did.
yeah, it's the natural progression of Tarkov. You start slow, you kind of, baby steps, you learn to walk, you learn to run, there you go. But yeah, like it's fun also. It's not just that it's an advanced way to play, and it's not just that you're gonna win every fight this way. It's also fun to push those interactions and see what kind of angles you start picking up on and learning, and you'll start noticing things you can get on top of that you'd never thought of before. You start noticing angles and lines that are just really clean. Like there's a lot to it, and sure you can argue that it's just the best way to play or whatever you want to say, but fun factor in Tarkov is a little bit different to me because the fun factor is winning fights. The fun factor is doing things that you didn't think you were capable of doing, and like I enjoyed that side of it so much more.
Yeah. A lot of people enjoy the loot, you know, like I have a couple, they don't have anywhere near the same hours. But like I'll kill somebody and I won't even go touch their body and they're like, "You're not going to loot him?" I'm like, "No, he doesn't have anything I want."
Right.
And it's just it blows their mind. They're like, "I don't understand how you don't take the loot." Like I don't need it. I don't want
I'll
it.
get the loot when I need the loot. Right now, I'm here to make sure I survive, complete this task, kill these players, whatever it is. Yeah, like there's sometimes, you'll kill a juicer and it's like I'm definitely gonna check that, but I'm not gonna check it right now. I just fought him in this area. It was loud, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of other aspects of it too. Sometimes I'll just run up and grab a dog tag. Doesn't matter what he
Yep.
has on. Might grab his gun, you know what I mean? Maybe.
I just want the tag. The tag's the
Yeah,
most important thing. I might snatch a scope or a suppressor or something, but
right, fair.
um, for me, I don't want to weigh myself down either.
Yeah,
Like
that's a lot
if
of it
I'm going in to
too.
make money, I'm going in. I'm gonna go. If
That's the
I'm, I separate the two. A lot of people don't. They try
right,
to make
that's
money
yeah,
and quest and stuff at the
and
same
quest
time.
and just raid in general, yeah.
Yeah.
I always have goals when I go into a raid. I'm there to task, I'm not there to loot stuff. I'm not there to pick things up. If I, happen to run into, like, a box of ammo, sick. If I come up to a crate, I'll just walk past it. I don't need it. There's nothing in there that it's gonna benefit me in my mission that I'm doing right now. That's something I try to teach. I've only been doing this for a few days, right? But I've been trying to teach players for a very long time, and that's something I like religiously have always tried to teach people is like, what are we in this raid for? Are we here to loot? Because I thought we were here to complete task A, B, C, and D, kill a few players, and then get out. Like if you want to loot, that's fine, but you need to separate the two because if you loot now and you come into dorms at 48 kilos and we're trying to fight and move and high speed things start happening, you're just slowing us down and weighing it down and you're causing yourself problems. Let's complete the things we're here for, and if on the way out you want to grab a couple things, cool. If we kill a few players, grab their stuff, that's fine. But like so many players are and I think it's just the idea of Tarkov and what it is. They're ingrained with the idea of like, oh, I have to loot everything that I can loot. There's a crate, I got to grab it. There's a body, I got to check it. There's a scav, I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of wild that players have such a hard time separating those two things, and it's kind of good to hear that I'm not the only person that does, and I know I'm not the only one that separates the two, but I have a hard time expressing it in a way that doesn't make me sound like an asshole because it's like you don't need that loot, you don't want that loot, but yeah, it's teaching players is
Well,
a skill set of its own, like being able to keep
it
your
is
cool, keep
having the
everything
patience.
calm,
Yeah, yeah,
keep everything
and
composed.
that's a big part of it, right? Like, how do you do in those high octane situations? You may be trying to avoid PvP with somebody that you're teaching, but it's inevitable. You're going to run into PvP sometimes, and how do you handle this? I don't want to just take over and kill everybody around us because that doesn't teach anybody a lesson, right? That's
No,
just me
not at
just
all.
kind of
Doing
wiping
what you do
everybody
and
out.
yeah,
Yeah, but I want them to be able to handle the situation when they run into it because I'm not always going to be there, right? I'm trying to teach
exactly.
them how to handle the situation when I'm not there. So I just want to be able to coach them through it. We get into a fight, they take damage. Okay, well, how do we heal? how do we peel off and right?
Reset
Maybe
the
we don't
fight
take
and
the
then go
fight.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't take the fight. Maybe we reset and we pull off a flank or rotate off of the angle we're on and pick another one. Wounds, right? Like it just comes down to for one, what is the person being taught? What do they want? What is their goal? Are they trying to learn PvP? Are they trying to learn a map? What are they trying to do? And we're just here to help to figure those things out, help them
Sure.
learn those things.
Yeah, exactly. Do you ever run into players who maybe ask for help, right? Like they start a ticket or they just like, looking for help or whatever it may be, however you come into contact with them. And then you get into the raids and the things happen, whatever is taking place, and they just refuse to listen. Don't want like they're unwilling to take your advice and they just refuse to change. Like, is that something that happens often or
I mean, without like being too specific, I mean, everybody's different, right? Some people they don't handle the pressure, situations like that very well, and it's okay, because everybody. I'm one of those that you gotta. I learned from being punched in the mouth.
yeah,
I had
yeah,
to, I had to die multiple times, and when we die, we learn, right? I try to
yeah? That is the best learning
express that to
experience.
people. Yep.
Yeah,
So always like, hey, record your fight, and then go and watch it back. When opportunity, watch that fight back because you may see something you didn't see before, and you have to like train yourself, program yourself to react a certain way. Like I didn't always, focus on trying to fight for a right hand angle. I would oftentimes take a dumb left hand peek and not, when you don't understand that your gun's right, and when you lean out,
exactly,
your
exactly.
exposure, you're exposing yourself way more. So,
Yeah,
somebody that's
even
taking your right hand versus your hard left hand lean, they see you way before you see them. So
yeah,
it just a lot of the time they're probably like, "Oh, that guy was cheating. How did he know I was there?" Well, you just
right.
exposed yourself
Yeah,
way more than
exactly.
you should have.
Yeah, and it takes
And you
time
just
to
have
learn
to
that.
create those tendencies for yourself. You
Yeah.
have to program yourself to be able, like I said, fight for the right. That's a saying that I teach. Fight for the right. Always fight for the right hand.
Yeah, it's crucial, and in Tarkov, it is extremely crucial. And it does take time to learn that, especially if you're unwilling to look at your deaths as a positive, right? If every time you die, you're just like, oh, he's cheating, or you chalk it up to whatever it may be, or you just call yourself bad, even, like, oh, I suck, whatever. It's really hard to learn and process information when you're not letting yourself process that information. Record your raids, watch them back. Even
Mhm.
successful raids are learning experiences,
Yep.
but when you die, especially when you don't know exactly what happened or how you died or what caused your death, you can learn so much in a 10-second clip of just seeing where it happened from, how it happened, what you were doing. Because sure, in first person mode, like well, in a first person view, you're leaning left from what you're seeing versus what they see is completely different, like he just said.
Yep.
And it's I understandably hard to process that, especially when you're not looking back at it. Um, have I always went back and watched my raids and tried to critique myself? No. Is it something I've picked up on recently? Absolutely. It is one of those things that has helped me really start to understand why I'm losing gunfights in Tarkov. Um,
Dude, I do it on stream sometimes. I'll die. I'll pull up the VOD while I'm live and
just run it back, watch it.
how did I
Yeah.
die? Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay, that makes yeah, I get it." Or it might just be me complaining about the game. It's you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That
Like
happens
everybody
too.
else. Yeah, this game
Right.
sucks, but we love it.
Well, speaking about complaints with the game, what are your thoughts on the hardcore wipe, and how do you think that they handled it? Do you think that they rolled it do you think they rolled back changes too early? Do you think that they were too soft with the do you think they were too soft with the implementation of the rule set? Just your overall opinions and thoughts on the hardcore wipe and how it went for you.
So I mean, you see the name, right? HardcoreHezi. So
Hardcore Hezi.
I'm
Yep.
and it was that before the hardcore wipes. Always joke.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just to me, I really enjoy the game being as hard as possible. Like I'm an advocate for no pouch. Like
Hey,
I
same.
really want the game to be as hard as possible.
No insurance, no
I
flea,
enjoy it. Yep.
hardcore,
Yep. I want the game to be as hard as it can. Now,
everything it
I
found in
didn't
raid.
like the I wasn't a fan of the transit thing because of the
Well,
transit
they
bugs and all the
yeah,
stuff that happens
it
with
could
it.
have worked really
Um,
well. In theory,
I
great
didn't like
idea.
the idea of having to take an AK-12 with suppressor all day and
Yeah,
travel
that's
through 2
fair.
maps just to be able to go do
No,
that
yeah,
quest when I'm not gonna
understandable.
find people on the map, right?
It's also
Like, I
crazy that
just
you were already doing that.
it I wasn't there yet.
While
No, I wasn't. That was a
oh,
thought process that went through my
okay.
head.
That's fair.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
didn't
say,
get there that
holy
fast.
shit, dude, that's nuts.
I didn't get there that fast, no. But that was a thought that ran through my head, like, dude, I'm
Right.
not gonna wanna take this SR, well, Streets wasn't that hard to get to, but
Yeah, not
I'm just
bad.
saying
Still having to
Lighthouse, you had
transit
to go through 2
between
maps
right.
to get to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, that would have been horrendous in my opinion.
Well, and
I think that we should
Tarkov's
just be able to load into whatever map we want to
I
personally.
agree.
I think maybe if we're going through, like, a single player campaign or something and we have to travel from map to map, like, that would
Completely
be a cool
different.
idea.
Yeah,
But, yeah, I don't know. I really enjoy no flea. I think the game is fun when there isn't a flea market.
yeah. I
I
like the
don't think
idea
they
of
wanna
less
completely scrap it. I get
no.
it, but I think they should just limit,
I
for
like
one, another thing that we needed was like, a trader that had keys or because being locked
yeah,
behind keys that you have to rely on RNG, that
feels
part
bad.
really sucks.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
good.
it's a horrible mechanic in my opinion. Like
Um,
Dragnet right
I
now.
yeah, yeah, that's very true. Very true. I do like what they currently have for the flea market. It's a higher level requirement to reach it. You can only sell an item or 2 items at a time. Um,
Yep.
I think
It's
that's
better.
reasonable enough. It's better than level 15, sell anything and everything you wanna sell, right? Like,
Yeah. I like that you can't buy ammo. I like that, I
yeah,
do enjoy that. I think it is better than it's been in the past, but to be honest, I think the game is better without.
I do too. I agree. I like the idea of solely relying on everything on my PMC's shoulders and what I do slash find and raid.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it should
I
be.
I very much have enjoyed it. I I think it was a pretty fun wipe, and I think it lasted. I think the early game lasted quite a bit longer.
That was what everybody said they wanted, and I saw so many people complain about. They're like, "Oh, everything sucks. Nobody has anything." It's like, yeah, but everybody was
I'm
like, "Make early wipe longer." Like, it's what they did.
I will say I'm not a fan of the time gating, the quests and stuff. Like if I
Yeah,
grind, I should be able to reach the things that I'm grinding
right.
for. But
They
maybe
can
you um I think you just make things a lot more the good items you make not obtainable from traders, and then I think kind of where
yeah,
you have
just
to find all your good attachments in
yeah.
raid, not things that you need for quests.
Right, 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 right.
Let's get that straight. Like I don't
For
think
sure.
it having to have a certain suppressor that you can't obtain is kind of
Kind of
they need to
booty.
fix that.
Yeah.
Make it where you can get those things from traders.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think a few balancing changes to level out that kind of offset where we were missing the task items, missing keys. I think those were should have been utilized from the traders, and then everything else just dependent from in raid.
Yeah.
I do like the overall idea of hardcore. I felt like it fell a little short, but I can also understand it because like not every player is you or I who wants a more hardcore Tarkov, who wants it to be just absolutely just brutal. There are a lot of new players. There are a lot of players who play casually. So I can understand why. I would have liked more though. I would have liked it to be a little
Well,
more
like
hardcore.
so here's an idea, right? Like so interchange for right. You have Kiba. So that would be super dope in my opinion that if there was no key required, had to go
Oh, dude, think of the
then let's say
fights.
you had to go upstairs, you had to go hit the button, the little intercom button to turn off the
Right.
alarm. Like if you made this series of actions that you had to do, and like, in my opinion, bosses should work the same way actually. Um, but there's a series of events that you do to open up the Kiba door, and then all of those quest potential those quest items like the suppressors and the scopes, there was a
Loaded.
high chance
Yeah.
for them to spawn in there, right?
Yeah, for
It would
sure.
make interchange insane, but it gives you the ability to. I can't get it from a trader, but I have a really high chance to go find him.
Right.
And so it creates an instance there that I think would be really, really cool. But
It
I think
causes
bosses
map
should work the
movement.
same way.
I
Yep,
totally
and it
agree with bosses. Yeah.
bosses you should have to kill, we'll just use an example. So I even posted this when Nikita asked for like what do you guys suggest?
Ideas and things that we want. Yeah.
Yep. I said, "Hey, I think that the game would be sick if I had to go in, kill 10 scavs. Once I did, I got a in-game prompt that popped up said, "Hey, this boss, what such and such is,
You've caught killer's attention.
aggravated." Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
something like
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
And then what happens is you have to this certain button, and then it causes him to spawn. Now you don't know where he spawned, but it
Right,
causes
but
him to
he's
spawn
there.
in the raid. But it would have gotten what it takes is it makes people stay in the raid longer, right? Because now you have to sit there, you
Absolutely.
have to get 10 scabs, now you have to go hit this button. And it's not RNG. You can always spawn the boss in if you do this set amount of actions. Now, I do think that they would need to like kind of dumb down the. I think they should do that personally.
Yeah, I think they should
Um,
anyway. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Yep.
that would, not when I say that, I think they should know gear and stuff. I still think that they should have opportunities for high end loot, such as money and
Yeah,
stuff.
key cards,
But,
money,
yep.
lootable items, yes, but to
Even if you're
have
putting like
60s full of crazy ammo,
a
that's
couple
insane.
ravens and a loot lord
Yeah,
pockets or something. It's not an insane
cap
amount of
items,
money,
whatever,
but
right.
yeah,
Useful
but it
stuff.
puts a couple 100,000 rubles on them, and it makes it worth killing them. I think that would be a cool
I
concept. I
also
know that was
think
a little off
that
topic, but
well, that's what we do here, dude. There's always tangents, we just, like whatever we're talking about, it just goes. I think with bosses, maybe not all of them, but, like, Woods, Shoreline, okay, Sturman, Sanitar, the goons on Lighthouse, which they do a pretty good job already. Um, I think those areas that are more open maps where it would make sense for those bosses to have multiple spawn points, I think they should roam. I think Sturman would be a much more terrifying boss and a much better experience overall when you do kill him. If him and his two guards were kind of roaming from Sawmill, from Old Saw to New Sawmill, maybe around that whole Mountain Stash area, even like having those
yeah,
guys roam around would be pretty slick.
that would be cool. Yeah, I think that they should be able to.
Same for Sanitar.
Uh,
Like he should go pier, cottages, resort, kind of just
they
like
would
path
really
through
have
there.
to fix their AI some though. I think that in order to
It
do that, because
would require a
we
lot
would
of
be
fixing.
getting mopped through bushes,
Yeah, it would be absolutely brutal. It would. But I
especially
think it's a
Sturman.
cool
Man,
idea that they could, like, come up with something, like, maybe, I don't know, I don't know. But I think it would be
yeah.
interesting. Those larger
Gluhar used
areas
to
that
have
feels
a mechanic like
underutilized.
that.
He did, yeah,
He would
he would
he
roam
would
around
spawn
based
at the
off
train
shots, right?
station, and he would like move into the K buildings. That was the only place I really remember seeing him move around. But yeah, they used to
I thought
spawn
he
at
would go
train
from
station.
K to barracks.
They could go from K to the train station, and
Maybe that's what it
he would
was, yeah.
walk around a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
like, just more roaming bosses is cool because, like, Partisan's a fun fight, as easy as he is. The Goons,
yeah,
as
he's
easy as they
all over
are,
the
fun
place.
fight. Like, they're not hard bosses, but just catching them anywhere and everywhere, you walk up from Chalet 1, it's clear, you go down to Chalet 2, you don't hear anything, you start looting around and they're there. Like, it's like, "Oh, shit."
You'll hear like a couple bullets whiz by, and you're like, "Oh shoot, what was that?"
Yeah, what do
You're
I
like, "Oh, I
do?
think the goons are here," and you
Right?
just go sit behind a rock and wait a minute, and they'll be there.
They'll be there every time.
Yeah, it's
And,
fun.
like,
I agree.
Partisans tripwires, that's a really cool thing. I would like to see more
Yeah,
bosses utilize that. Like, Kalante, I think, would be a really cool boss if he had tripwires. That would just add to that fight that much more. It's already a chaotic fight, I know, but it's like he's in the
imagine
mall,
like
he's in a tight area. Like, it would be great
Killa
if
or
he had
Tequila
tripwires.
having an RPG
Dude,
or something.
Tequila with RPG would be nutty. That would be awesome. But, like, yeah, like, they could go above and
Uh,
beyond with some of these things, and, like, you could take it anywhere that you wanted to take it, or you could keep it relatively grounded, but I think they should experiment and have some fun. I guess we're past that because 'cause we're at 1.0, but, like, especially once we've killed these bosses a few times, like, it becomes almost as simple as killing a scav, right? Like, outside of, like, "Oh, I gotta shoot Tequila 35 times in the face instead of 10," or "I gotta
yeah.
shoot Killa a bunch of
I
times
don't
instead,"
I don't know, the goons, Knight's been mopping me up when I was doing the farming for
Really?
before. Yeah, he pretty
Damn.
much insta headshots you.
Well, yeah, they right now they are broken, right? Because like, I heard through the grapevine, oh, they're testing for I don't wanna I don't they're testing
You're
for
talking about
future.
Black Division?
Okay, yeah,
I
sick. They're testing for Black Division, right?
I
Like,
heard a
that's what
little.
everybody was saying. So they cranked up AI, and then it continued to be that way, and I was like, "Well, maybe they didn't do that. Maybe, maybe they turned up the AI, I don't know." But it seems crazy because yeah, I recently they are a little bit harder. I haven't fought the goons a lot because I haven't been on Lighthouse much as Wipe. Um,
They're bad. Yeah, they're pretty bad right now.
I fought
They
him.
have the rogue AI, so they're
Oh,
headshotting
yeah,
you if
just
they
locking
you give
on.
them.
Say I
Yep.
was fighting them above water treatment and took them out there, and I think that's the only time I fought on this wipe. But yeah, there are some the chance of running into a boss somewhere would be pretty interesting. Let's see. Yeah. We covered shit. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I mean, uh, I would like to shout a couple people out that,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know, Seaweed, she was amazing for me becoming a Sherpa. I haven't been a Sherpa very long. It's something I always wanted to do. But there's a couple of the mentors, Seaweed, Gunner, Stickman, uh, Ollie.
Afraid.
Ollie was a big one for me. He really kind of was like, Hezi, you're doing great. Really good motivation inside the Sherpa Discord. So, really cool group of people. Um, we
Definitely.
we look forward to having you join the ranks there, my friend. And
Yeah, looking
um,
forward to it.
we're there's some really good ones in there that will get work.
Yeah,
But
everybody I've
as far
talked
as
to in there is awesome so far. Like I haven't had anybody, sure people will correct something if you say or do something wrong, right? But like overall, really chill vibes. Everybody's extremely helpful, very polite and easy to talk to. I've only been in there a couple days and, I can hop in and chat with any of them and it's, it doesn't feel awkward or weird or anything like that. It feels just
dude, it's a family, man. It
yeah,
really
yeah, for
is.
sure.
Like
It
they're
it yeah.
people. We enjoy helping people. So yeah, for anyone that's struggling out there playing Tarkov, PvP or PvE, just hop in the Sherpa Discord, submit a ticket or make a post looking for help. There's plenty of people out there that are willing to help. So don't give up. Just keep your head down and keep on the grind. If you need help, we're here. We're here for
We
you.
are here to help you. That is our
Yep.
goal. Help you become a Tarkov player that can be proud to be on the battlefield. I don't know. No, but we are seriously. The Sherpa program is awesome, not just to be a Sherpa, but in the idea of being able to help people and the amount of people that are getting help and seeing so many people, benefit from it is a really awesome thing. And I am again only here for a few days so far, but I'm already proud to be part of this because it is something that is good for Tarkov. It is something that's good for the community. So yeah, what you guys
Yeah.
are doing is awesome. I am more than happy and proud to be a part of it, and I appreciate all of you guys for taking me in and letting me be here.
Well, with 1.0, we're looking for some help. So, if you guys have any interest in joining the program or whether you're trying to catch us in the Sherpa Discord, that'll all be linked.
Yep.
I appreciate your time, man. It's been great talking.
Yeah, dude, great conversation. I appreciate you. Anytime you want to come on, you're more than welcome. You're always welcome, like for sure.
For sure, man. I appreciate it. You guys, if you ever want to see some professional, catch me on Twitch. That's the best place to find me.
Twitch.tv/HardcoreHezi.
Yep.
Gotcha. We'll have everything linked. We'll have the Discord linked. We'll have the official EFT Discord linked. Have Hezi's Twitch linked. Any other links that we may have mentioned throughout this, we'll definitely get them posted for you guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and comment below. And of course, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It helps us out tremendously and it keeps you up to date with all of our content. I'd also like to say thanks to our subscribers and a special thanks to our channel members. If you would like to help support the channel, consider becoming a member below. We'll catch you next week. See ya.